and welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy you decided to stick around. Welcome to the first episode of Planets of the Past, the series about the past of the solar system. Today we'll be starting the series strong with some pretty well-known planets, Proto-Earth and Theia, and here they are, in all their glory. Our stars, well, planets, but you understand. Now, before we get into the chaotic mess that is Proto-Earth and Theia, we need some context to what happened in the early solar system first. So let's get into that now, shall we? In the early solar system, in what I like to call the Proto-Era, after some events by the gas giants, 5 terrestrial planets formed. These were Mercury, Venus, Earth, Theia, and Mars. This was due to the asteroid belt being supported and sustained by the gravity of Jupiter, and therefore the planets in the inner solar system could fully form, unlike the possible other protoplanets that got destroyed earlier on. Due to later events, though, Proto-Earth and Theia collided, eventually forming the Earth and the Moon we all know and somewhat love today. Although I say somewhat because of all the things we're doing to the Earth and destroying the ecosystems. So yeah, I would say we somewhat love it. So, with all that aside, now we need to talk about a main player in this story, called the influence of gravity. After a while, even though the solar system was supposedly more peaceful at this point than it was earlier on, when there were only gas giants, gravity and the influence of it was still very relevant and present, especially because it is one of the 4 core forces of our universe. If we removed it, it would throw the other 3 off, and there would be no stability. Larger bodies of gravity, like Jupiter and Venus, are hypothesized to have possibly shifted Proto-Earth and Theia's orbit significantly, causing them to either share an orbit or get really close to each other. Though the sharing orbit one is more popular and it makes more sense than just getting really close to each other orbits. As you can see here, I drew them as they share an orbit. So now we need to talk about the aftermath and consequences of planets sharing an orbit. They don't last that long. They usually collide, especially if their masses are not similar at all. And when figuring out the mass of terrestrial planets, we can use their size because terrestrial planets are usually densely packed because they're made of rock and other heavier materials than gas giants are. So, Proto-Earth was more similar in size to the current Earth, and Theia was more similar in size to Mars, so I would say that the mass difference of Proto-Earth and Theia were very, very large. The difference of them were very large, and they were not close to each other's masses in the slightest, so Proto-Earth probably pulled in Theia, and then it collided with the entire planet, and this collision ended up in what we call the Great Impact Hypothesis, which, as said before, is the hypothesis that they had existed and then crashed into the Earth in the early proto stages. And this is the seed for how the moon and planet we all know today came to be. Though, I do have this totally very accurate image. This is not accurate at all. Image of Proto-Earth and Theia colliding, and it is not too accurate, but it suffices for what happened. Though I do have a quick side note, even though I did mention both Jupiter and Venus for being the cause of the collision, some sources say that it was either one or the other. I'm just assuming that it was both because of how chaotic the early solar system was, and how gravity can influence other celestial bodies from astronomical units away, especially Jupiter, due to it being a fundamental part in the stability of the solar system, and its influence on the inner planets and generally everything. Venus can also be to blame because of its large scale and mass. It is the second largest terrestrial planet, after all. And, well, that's gotta account for something. Just goes to show that you should do your own research and see which side you agree on based on the evidence proof. And that is all I'm going to say about this for now, because now we're going to get into what you've all been waiting for, the formation of the Earth and the Moon. After the collision, a new planet formed, the molten world we know today as Earth. Around it, there was a debris disk. Debris disks can form around any planet, and it can form moons. Like protoplanetary disks form planets around stars and brown dwarfs. These small debris disks orbit planets and can form one or two moons depending on the size of the planet. Judging on how large Earth is, we can estimate that the debris disk could have formed at least two moons, but we ended up with one wonderful moon. Eventually, the debris disk collected in itself and formed, well, the moon, or Luna, if you want to use the Latin version of the name. The moon kept the Earth on its axis tilt of 23.44 degrees, and this is how present-day Earth and Moon were formed, or Luna were formed, and how Earth developed life over billions of years. Now, here is our planet and moon in all their glory in the current day. And yeah, that is the story of two planets that collided to form the wonderful planet and moon we all know and love, well, somewhat today. Though I do have some ending notes before we sign off. Well, one ending note that I would like to address. All these events were discussed in rapid succession as if they were immediately one after the other. Just a friendly reminder that all of these events took hundreds, thousands, millions, and even billions of years to happen, because the universe does not move fast. It is a slow progression. Like a snail moving around the Earth at the same speed a snail usually moves. They're very slow. It's a very slow progression, but it eventually happens. Things don't really happen in seconds up there. They happen in years, and a lot of them. Often I will be talking about how hundreds of years are short periods of time, which, when talking about space, yeah, it's a short period of time. So, again, timing is fast paced in videos and explanations, and is very slow paced in real time. Now, as I said in the introductory video, I'm not going to spoon feed you. Do your own research. But I made it a little bit easier by making this video so you can have a little bit of background information about how everything happened and in a quick summarized form. And also, I put a link in the description to possibly get you started if you are actually interested in the topic. And that is to only get you started. Please look up your own sources as well. That is just the starting point. So, if you're truly interested, do your own research and have fun with it. Because doing research for these video topics is to have fun with it. And if you're not having fun with it, then, well, that's just kind of sad. So, if you're going to do it, have fun with it, and, well, thanks for watching this video. And I'll see you in one of the other series. But also in this series, I'll see you later in the next video about Venus and Mars. So until then, and take care, and I'll see you next time.